Welcome to this episode of the Harpreet Singh Show. In today's segment, we are going to talk to Dr. Kala Singh, who is talking to us about the heritage of the turban as to what is the importance of the turban. And all over the world, the turban has been used by people. In our previous episode, we had talked about the various kinds of turbans which were worn by the Muslims, and even in the Old Testament, he had given some understanding as to, it is written over there also, the importance of turban. So last time we had reached India and we were talking about the kinds of turbans which are worn over there. So let's continue with the discussion, and today we are talking in English because we want the mainstream people as well as the youngsters also to know that this turban is very important, and the significance of this turban is not just related to the Sikhs only. Let's continue with the discussion with Dr. Kala Singh. Dr. Sir, welcome to the program.
Yeah, thank you, Harpreet Singh ji.
Ji.
So let's talk about the turban of Punjab. You know, Punjab turban, good old days. It was called Festival Turban of Punjab.
Okay.
Used mostly during Bhangra time, and it is used nowadays also.
Right.
And it's a bright colored turban, mostly of pink color or red color.
Right.
Just woven around the head. The same type of Kalanshua type of turban, but without a cap of Kalanshua,
Right.
with one end hanging down from the left and other going up, and
Right.
the one which end going up is in Punjabi, it's called turla.
Right.
So I don't know what is.
It's a turla only.
Yeah. And nowadays,
Right.
even Hindus wear turban on special occasions.
Right, especially during the marriages. and all
Especially
that,
during
yeah.
the marriages, the bridegroom always wears a turban, which
Right.
is already ready-made turbans sold in the market.
Right.
And
Just
they put it on the head.
Yeah.
I have got a picture of Aishwarya Rai marrying Abhishek Bachchan.
Right.
And Abhishek putting a turban.
Right.
And with the big B, with his close family members, and Ambani
Well,
brothers.
the big B is claiming to be the descendant of Guru Nanak Dev, the 18th descendant.
With
So he has to wear the turban.
Yeah, with the Ambani brothers,
Right.
wearing a saffron colored turban during Abhishek's marriage.
Right.
So now let's talk about tribal turbans.
Okay.
And here I will talk about not turbans also, but the headdresses also.
Okay.
You know, because in the tribals they were putting on the headdresses also.
Right.
So I've got a turban called Rumal of Muria turban. It's a big turban and well decorated with feathers
Okay.
and with pearls. In fact, all the tribal turbans are decorated with feathers and with pearls.
Okay.
Yeah, and I have got Turai headgear of Halaki tribe. Beautiful turban.
Right.
Fantastic. And then the Native Americans had dresses made mostly of the feathers.
Okay.
And socks, buffalo headdress. Fantastic, beautiful turban. And Pawnee chief's turban. I've got Hoopa flicker headdress, beautiful.
Right.
And Seminole cloth turban. It's a multicolored turban with a big feather
Right.
on top of it. Aztec and Maya headdresses,
Right.
beautiful. And African turban.
Right.
African nomadic tribes also wore turbans because nomadic tribes, they spend most of their time in the desert.
Right.
Their turban is that they cover the whole of the face,
Right.
including neck, with only eyes, a small slit
Right.
in the eyes to see. This turban is mostly to keep the sand away.
Absolutely, because
Yeah.
in the deserts it's a major problem of sand coming.
Yeah, and ancient Egyptians, they put head dresses. I've got
Right.
two of them, beautiful. And these days, Egyptians also put beautiful multicolored head dresses.
Right.
And again, most of them are to keep the sand away.
Okay.
It is. Then we got Turkish ornamental squash turban.
Okay.
Turkish have been putting on the turbans from time immemorial.
Okay.
They are big turbans,
Okay.
and most of them are shaped with the different types of fruits
Okay.
or vegetables.
Okay.
The picture I have got is the squash
Okay.
turban.
Right.
I was surprised when I saw this one. Even the Chinese philosopher Confucius.
He also wore a turban.
He also wore turban.
Right.
I've got two pictures of him, and turban has been in Europe for a long time. There is a picture in the National Art Gallery of London
Okay.
with the caption "A Man in Turban," and it is 1433 AD
Wow.
by Jan van Eyck. So that
Okay.
means in 1433 AD.
Right.
Before that, also the turban was there
Right.
in Europe. Now, we mostly think that the turbans are worn by the men, but ladies have also been wearing turban.
Okay.
I have got pictures of European women wearing a turban, beautiful multicolored turban.
Right.
That is a European woman. I've got another European woman picture wearing turbans.
Right.
Then headdress have been worn by Muslim women also.
Right.
There is a quotation in Quran. The Quran instructs Muslims, both men and women, to dress in a modest fashion.
Right.
The following verses are generally interpreted as applying to all Muslim men and women. It is in Surah An-Nur, Ayah 31, states, "And say to the believing women that they cast down their looks and guard their private parts,
Ji.
and do not display their ornaments except what appears thereof, and let them wear their head covering khimars over their bosoms,
Ji.
and not display their ornaments except to their husbands, their fathers, their husbands' fathers, their sons, their husbands' sons, their brothers or their brothers' sons or their sisters' sons,
Right.
or their women, or the slave whom their right hands possess,
Right.
or male servants free of physical needs, or small children who have no sense of the shame of sex, and that they should not strike their feet in order to draw attention to their hidden ornaments.
Right.
And O ye believers, turn ye altogether towards Allah, that ye may attain bliss. Quran 24:31. This has been interpreted differently by different people I have talked to.
Right.
But I have got burqas worn by Muslim
women,
women.
yeah.
I've got a Afghani burqa. The Afghani burqa is from head to toe,
Right.
even covering the eyes.
Right.
The eyes are only one can see through the netting.
Right.
So this is a type of Afghani burqa. So I've got another type of burqa in which it covers the whole head and the whole body,
Right.
but the eyes are open.
Okay.
There's no netting, but the eyes are open. Then I've got another hijab in which the whole face is open.
Right.
So it is different interpretations, and different type of women put different type of headdresses.
Right. So, Dr. Saab, while women also have been wearing headdresses, as you said, the turbans, and in the Islamic world, the women cover their faces by hijab or by long, coats and everything. Let's go for a small break, come back, and again continue with the discussion about the other various forms of turbans which can be found everywhere in the world. Once again, welcome back to the program. Before the break, we have been talking about the importance of the turban and the heritage of the turban. And it's not just confined to the men only, women also have been wearing headdresses and, of course, the turbans, as well as they've been covering themselves with cloth. Let's continue with the discussion and know a little bit more from Dr. Kala Singh as to where other places also we can find people wearing turbans. Dr. Saab.
Harpreet Singh, we were talking about women also putting head dresses or turbans.
Right.
Even in Malaysia, I found it's called the star again.
Okay.
Because we call it the star 6.
Right.
But there also in Malaysia, it is called the star of Bajau.
Okay.
And women put on turban there.
Okay.
And it's a beautiful multicolored turban.
Right.
Then the tribal women also, they had been putting on head dresses.
Right.
We can call it a turban, or we can call it a headdress, but it's a multicolored cloth
Okay.
with decorated with feathers.
Right.
And Vishram bridal head dress. It is also a cloth wearing on the head, decorated with pearls.
Right.
Beautiful, this one. And then Eskimo dance head dress.
Okay.
Now this we are talking about in other places.
Right.
even Sikh women
Mhm.
have been putting
Right, the star.
the star.
They've been covering their
yeah.
head.
There are few women. In fact, it has been made more popular by American
Sikhs.
women Sikhs.
Right.
You know, they put white colored headdress. I've
Right.
got 3 pictures of them.
Mhm.
One is putting a circular type of of the star.
Right.
Other one is a conical type.
Okay.
And the third one is the star and a chunni on top of that.
Okay.
Because most of our Sikh women,
Right.
they put a chunni, that is called a scarf.
Right.
You know, but there are even not only American Sikh women,
Ji.
there are Punjabi Sikh women also.
Right, who cover their head.
Who put the star
Right.
and put a chunni on top of that.
Right. So basically, from all what we have talked today is it's not just the men who wear the turbans. There have been many instances of women also all over the world where they have been wearing the star. Of course, the type of wearing has been different. Every area has its own unique style whereby people wear the turbans.
Yes.
But the tradition has been continuing since ages, as you have already told. So now, but what we are finding today is that the star or head coverings are going away. We are going away from this. It's not considered to be modern if you are covering your head, and especially if a woman covers her head. What do you have to say about? Are you concerned about this? Even among the Sikhs also, our younger generation is going away from wearing the turbans.
As I said in the beginning, you know, with the so-called modernization,
Mhm.
the turban has disappeared not only by the religious people,
Right.
because it was like in the Old Testament, it was it is a sense of prophethood.
Right.
The religious people, even monarchs, you know.
Right.
But now even the religious people in different religions,
No, they have also left.
they have given up turbans and they have replaced it with a hat.
Right.
Or like in the Jews, it has been replaced by a hat, and even in the Muslim world or in the Christianity, it has been replaced by a skull cap.
Right.
There are many Muslim religious leaders who are and monarchs who are still putting the turban.
Right.
You know, and their turban is very bright colored,
Right,
multicolored.
but,
You know,
but again, the
they're
question is
putting-
with this modernity thing coming in, we are finding at many places this tradition is finishing off.
is finishing now.
And we hope that this tradition continues, that the people, wherever country you have mentioned where turbans were being worn, that pristine glory what we have talked about, it still comes back.
It will come. We hope it will come back.
Absolutely.
You know, because it's a crown.
Right.
It's a spiritual crown.
Right.
You know, given to us by the God, or we say from the Old Testament.
Right.
It is a spiritual crown for us.
Thank you very much, Dr. Sahib. And next week we would like to talk about the Sikh, the star, the Sikh turban, what is unique and why is it important for a Sikh to wear a turban. We'll discuss about this next week. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, sir.